Hello. So, I did you a few cards. Felt as though I needed to do some cards. There's quite a few cards. I will try and give you a brief kind of. Excuse my shoe. Okay, so these are your cards. This is just a brief reading. It might be a brief reading, it might not be. Depends on where the energy goes. So first of all, you've got Knight of Swords, okay? Now this is a male in spirit. I don't know whether this male in spirit used to like motorbikes or had an accident on a motorbike, because they're showing me a connection with my brother, because my brother passed on a motorbike. That's to do with someone that's watching over you, and they are sending you signs, as in the blackbird or the crow. So whenever you see the crow, and you may have seen, I'm going to slow down, I do go quite fast when I do reading, so I apologize, but obviously you can watch the recording back, you can always ask me questions. So recently you may have noticed or seen crows or blackbirds crossing your path a lot more than usual. I've got my glasses on because I've had a migraine this morning. And this is to do also with the situation that's going on. So this person is feeling very protective of you, but also trying to encourage you into out of your comfort zone, basically. So the situation that has arisen has left you contemplating and thinking. So these two staffs that are in the card, this is about what you're used to and where your comfort is, and then so you have two different choices, two different paths. There are generally more than that, but this is a generalization, and most people, averagely speaking, live from two polarities, and they kind of go from one path to another path, or choose one or the other. This is about expanding your horizons, your skills, your where you go, as in geography wise, so like areas that you go and that you visit. And it's about opportunities being brought to you in disguise, and making the most of things that have happened. They will present you with an opportunity to do something different. This is the Hermit card. This is how you feel at the moment. This is where you are at the moment. You want to hide away from the world. You feel like a very long way away from everyone and everything, and that you are hiding. You're hiding yourself as well, because you feel overshadowed, and you feel as though you're being made wrong, and you're being judged. So obviously I know the situation a little bit, but it's not just about the situation that's occurred. It's also to do with life in general and you in general. This is about your community. This is about your community, people that know you, everyone supporting you and helping you to grow. And this card is about the acknowledgement for who you are, how far you've come, and acknowledgement for the skills that you have, and for what it is that you contribute towards people, to people, in many different ways, just by being who you are, your skill set in your job, what you do, but generally you as a person. You don't realise what a difference you can make to other people. This is one about magic, but this is also about people, specifically a person, but people wanting to act on your behalf, and in a way want to claim vengeance for you. It's like a vigilante. You have a vigilante in your circle, and they want to act on your behalf to protect you, because they see an injustice happening and occurring. And what is stopping that from coming to the forefront is the person that's in spirit is kind of controlling that, so that it doesn't get too messy, and that it's controlled and dealt with in a conscious way. This is about the situation, not just the situation that's happening at the moment or has recently happened, but also your mindset and grief, and how it is your puppeteer, how it is in control of you, what you do, your choices. It limits you, and in a way it's almost something that part of you identifies with. So this is about building your own individual identity. This is about you feel like you're drowning in your emotions, especially to do with the moon cycles, because the moon cycles and the planetary activity really does affect people and what they're going through at the time. Again, this is to do with polarity, is to do with the light and the dark. So, but this is about what's inside of you. So this is to do with your light and your shadow, and things that you would benefit from looking at. Your emotions, your grief, your insecurities, things that you don't trust, anxieties, worries. You're being vulnerable, and you feel as though you're drowning, and it's almost you're caught up in the illusion of how you should feel, how you should be, where it should be right now, and things like that. This is feeling of despair and not desperation as such, but definitely despair. Very overwhelming by all of these different bad things that are happening. But in being overwhelmed by this and allowing this to limit you and define you and keep you trapped in this state, you're missing out on the light and the angels that are watching over you and really sensing their presence and noticing and observing the opportunities that are being sent your way. This is about working on releasing the judgments that you feel others have of you, even without the present situation that's been going on. You feel as though people look at you, and this is a subconscious thing, so this is not a judgment from me, but it feels like, and we all kind of get this, we feel like, especially me, I get this a lot, we feel as though people are judging us all the time, and sometimes they're not. It's just stories that we tell ourselves and it's in our head. So this is again about building your confidence. This is about accessing your masculine and your lion inside you. So this is about your safety, being able to identify and meet your own needs in order to help you grow and to become stronger, and to access that fire, that sacral center, which is your belly, your womb space, and also your solar plexus, which is your power center, your identity, your projection of who you are, and being strong in that. This is about a connection. This is about a friendship. This is your connection. I want to feel as though this is something that has maybe recently come out of balance or being questioned, but angels are hearing you, and they are working on, or in order to bring that closer again, but also to understand that there will always be changes and shifts in regards to relationships and friendships. But in essence, this dynamic of these three people, you and these other two people, is a strong bond. This is you, and you feel very vulnerable, you feel very weak, you don't feel very strong at all, but you actually do have that strength and the access to that lion inside you. This is about, again, what is in control of the boat and what is driving your boat and is directing your boat is the grief, conflict, the problems, the anxieties, the insecurities, especially three major problems that are going on at the moment. These ones in the background are about ones that you're letting go, and these are ones that you're wanting to take forward with you in order to work through. So this is about releasing, starting to let go of baggage, work through baggage, with support. This is what you can't see at the moment. So this is the world. This is you and the world. You have the opportunity to have everything that you want and that you desire. Your happiness is there. It might feel very far away at the moment, and it feels as though it's been snatched away from you, but it hasn't been. It is just something that needs to be moved through. It is not permanent. It is not a permanent situation. It is temporary. It is a lot to do with how you manage it, how you deal with it, the communication used, the way that the situation is approached and dealt with, and the support that you have through it, and that it's dealt with consciously rather than unconsciously, so that it's resolved in a much easier way without it being messy. This again is the person in spirit. So this person in spirit feels like they are emotional, like they can access their emotions, but they're also funny and humorous with it. It's like this person is quite funny, really funny, and would be like, you know, you thought that that would be as likely as pigs flying or something like that, like giving really like funny, humorous little like sayings or phrases, or would just be able to pick you up. And this little bit in here is about your, not just your relationship and the love with that person, but the friendship that is there still, that maybe we believe in losing someone that we feel is not there anymore, but it is still there. And also, I'm not sure if you have a brother, or you know, a friend that feels like a brother, but also I feel as though that card has a double meaning and is in regards to a young male figure that you have around you as well at the moment, or that will be coming in soon. This is to do with emotions, and about you being brave enough to access, to feel, and to move through the emotions that you have going on, rather than suppressing them, running from them, hiding from them. And this, what's the word? Bringing enlightenment, or transcending the way that you currently express your emotions. So you'll be learning a new way of how to express your emotions, and knowing that it's okay, and being able to access them better. So that is growth in regards to your emotions, also, as well as your trauma related to the masculine. So trauma around men in your life, in your childhood and growing up, especially as a young adult. This, horses, this is abundance, finance. It's following you. It's not going anywhere. It's coming with you. Okay? So no matter where you go, no matter who you are with or around, horses are always going to be a part of your life and going to bring you abundance. Abundance of joy as well as finance. Like I say, it's not a permanent situation, and may present you with an opportunity to move on to and into something greater that will actually, for you in the long term, be better. So it might, you know, it's kind of, sometimes when things like this happen, it's a blessing in disguise. And I know it's easy for me to say that because it doesn't feel like that. It feels devastating and cruel and mean and all of these things, which in a way it is. But it's also an opportunity for something new, for something not new as in it doesn't have to be related to horses, but new as in something that will serve you better, that will be more of a contribution to your world, that won't keep you limited, that won't keep you stuck, that won't keep you defined, and that won't keep you as the underling or the underdog, if that makes sense. It will really put you into a position where you are acknowledged for the leader that you are, for the skills that you have, and for you to come into your confidence. This is to do with a person in your life or coming into your life that feels very grounded. I don't know if it's a sister or you have a sister, or whether this might be a friend, but this is a woman that is very in tune with their emotions, with their expressions, and that will help assist you and support you in your growth and through this situation and into better things, and maybe even present you with the opportunity in order to grow, whether it's to grow your own self-employed business, or it's growing something for you to birth. So it's definitely not a child but it's an idea, it's something that is growing within you and a new version of you. At the moment, this is how you feel within yourself, and it's like when you look in the mirror, you cannot see you can see your situations, you can see things that have happened to you, you can see emotions, situations, you can see grief, you can see insecurity, you can see low self-esteem, and at the moment you're being overwhelmed and they are controlling your sense of identity and self. So this is about really being able to look in the mirror and unraveling those false stories and those belief systems that are not true, that are keeping you trapped, and you being able to see you. So yeah, so those are the cards. So it's about your journey and really asking yourself, are you ready for your growth? Are you ready for the change that's available to you, to create the change that is there ready for you, rather than going back. So you'll have a choice to go back to what you know. You'll have a choice